Today is Wednesday, Parashat Tazria Metzora, and today we're learning from Pirkei Avot. This coming Shabbat, we're going to be reading and chanting the second chapter of Pirkei Avot. And today we'll explain some of the fourth Mishnah in this chapter. Hillel says, Al tifrosh minat tzibur, do not separate from the community. There are certain responsibilities, certain commitments that a person has to make and be involved with the community. A person should not be aloof and separate and care just for himself and say, I don't care about the community. No, you're part of the community. You have to help to carry the load of that community in whatever situation it is. And don't have such self-assurance that you'll never ever fail, even all the way until the day that you die, because somebody can be put to test in some situations and he might fail. Person should never say, I'll never make such a mistake, or I'll never do something wrong. You never know. It brings an example here in Masechet Berachot, where it says that Yochanan Kohen Gadol was a high priest in Bet HaMikdash for 80 years. Yet, at the end of his days, he went off the right path, and he became a tzduki, which is a sedusi, which means even though he had incredible track record, he failed at the end of his days, and that's why we always should be concerned not to do anything wrong and to be always scrupulous with our actions. And the past good track record is no guarantee that in the future a person will not fail in a certain test. And do not judge, don't be judgmental of other people until you come to exactly the same type of test and with the same type of his background, their circumstances, until you are in his shoes. And you can never be in another person's shoes because you don't know what are his natural tendencies, what is the background, what is the education that he got, what test he was put to, you can never know. So don't be judgmental of other people until you can come to his exact same place. And maybe if you were with his exact set of circumstances, you may have just also failed just like he did. So don't be judgmental of other people. ואל תאמר דבר שאי אפשר לשמוע שסופו להישמע. And don't say something that is hard to understand and you say, people will figure it out. I'll just say something in a brief way and eventually they'll understand what I mean. No, say things clearly. That's one explanation. Another explanation of this is don't say something that shouldn't be heard like a secret, because eventually if you say to somebody that is, let's say, a good friend, sometimes that secret might be revealed. So if there is something that you don't want it to be repeated, don't say it, because eventually it might be repeated. And even here in the explanation, the Kehati brings an explanation that says even in the private setting, don't say some things that shouldn't be said, because there is a saying that says that in Yalkut Shimoni for Kohelet, it says, Oznaim lakotel. There are ears for the walls have ears. In other words, even something that was said in a private setting might be heard. So if something shouldn't be heard, don't say it. And don't say, when I'll have time, I will learn Torah. Because maybe you'll never have time. Because actually people are very busy and there's always a reason why you don't have the time right now. And you might think, well, I'll have time in the future and I'll dedicate time to learn Torah, because maybe as days go and years go, there's always something to be busy with and maybe you'll never have time. So that's why a person should always, no matter what his situation in terms of work or family commitments or any other type of commitments of time, should always dedicate some of the time to the Torah and not say, and procrastinate to the future, when I have time I'll learn, because we may never have time. So the time to start is now. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.